Back to my channel, um, where we learn how to make simple meals from scratch and in a very easy way. Yes, if you're a kind of person that loves moi moi a lot, or you love akara, and then you always try to wash your beans, and yet it feels so tiring. After watching this video, you'd appreciate what you would love to do and you'd like to do it. I wash my beans easily when I add hot water to it. When you want to wash your beans, pour hot water into your beans, leave it for some time, maybe within 15 to 30 minutes, and then um, by that time the water must have been easy for your hands, and you can start washing. For me, I left these beans from morning till like afternoon before I started washing because I had so much to do. But for you, you could just keep it for just a little while before you start washing. Sometimes I leave it for like 10 minutes and then I begin to wash. But it's not all beans that is very easy to wash like this. I'm washing sugar beans, and I think it's one of the easiest beans to wash. I tried washing oloy, but it was quite difficult when I used this method. So other beans might give you tough time, but this particular beans was one of the easiest beans to wash, and then it will not take you so much time, and you would appreciate it at the end of the day. So while you wash, you just rub your hands. You could be using your two hands to be squeezing it, as in different hands to squeeze it, or you rub your two hands together, or you can filter it out and use your mortar if you can. I think it will be much easier for some persons to do that, but it doesn't need you to do hard rubbing. You could just, you see how I was doing it. I didn't really use so much pressure or so much force when I was washing it. But that is how easy those beans is. Yeah, some person will say, what's the need of washing the beans? It all depends on what you want. For me, I love my beans when I remove all the chaffs from the beans. And this particular beans, I didn't select it. That is why you're seeing those chaffs at the top. Now it will float because it's lighter than the beans, and then while filtering it out, you actually the process of selection comes in there. So if you love beans, do not hesitate to go ahead and make the dishes you want to make. If you feel the coated beans is going to be your problem, some persons use food processor, some persons use other methods to wash their beans, but if it is just the hand washing that you use to wash it, I promise you it's one of the easiest methods that you would apply. After washing it, you can filter the chaffs out properly, and then add more water. Scrub. You can scrub first before you add more water, or you add more water while scrubbing until you get the desired quantity of water you need to use. Now, if you are living in a place that water is so scarce and you find it difficult to access water, you can use a bigger rubber so that while you wash off the first part of the beans, you can still use that same water you filtered out to repeatedly filter off the chaffs from the beans itself, so that you would conserve water. You will not go about looking for who to help or who to borrow, or feeling so tired and everything makes you feel so stressed out. So this is a method you'd want to appreciate. At first, I never used to like washing beans because I felt if you give me beans to wash, I felt it was always a punishment. I would stay in a point of washing beans for more than 4 hours. So anytime my mom tells me, "Oh, we are going to cook moi moi today," I'll like, "Chai, today is another day." And the worst thing is that those days she wasn't always washing beans completely. She washed half of the beans, and half of the beans you select it. You will be peeling it one by one, removing the chaff and the beans itself one by one until it is done. Until you now have the actual beans without chaffs or the fiber on it, the coated beans. But as I grew up and then I was exposed to some cooking method, I realized that this method was one of the easiest, though it's not very common to all beans. Some beans have very tough skin, while some have very soft skin, which you can easily remove. You don't use this for native beans if you want to say you want to try. It may not work. So the texture matters a lot. You see how easy it was? Just using your hands. I was already tired because I had so much to do that day. I was like, since I had already soaked these beans for a very long time, I thought it was necessary for me to just wash it and then preserve it until whenever I need to use it. So do not be afraid. You could be washing the beans in smaller quantity until you get the desired quantity you need before you go to grind. You'll be starting from 2 cups, 1 cup. If you feel it's going to be tiring, just wash it, wash it, preserve. After preserving, you can then use it for whatever purpose you want to use it for. So you wash it like so. You wash it and then you just keep it until when you are ready to use it, you pick it up and make use of it. So as you watch this um video, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can also share and then drop your opinion in the comment section. We'd like to visit your comments and then do as you please or adjust to what I feel it's better. So as you could see, it was already peeling off, and sometimes the part that takes more time is filtering off the beans. For you to separate the beans from the chaff, you need to add so much water. That's just the secret. Because if you are just using small water, it will always be settling underneath. But if you have so much water to separate the chaff from the beans, it will be very easy for you to separate it and then pour it out. And sometimes some persons will be met with circumstances that while washing the beans will be scattering. That is not really a problem. It is one of those things. You may not really have a beans that is still whole. Once separate, it's not a problem. Continue washing. Don't be discouraged. It is not groundnut that you want to go and sell in the market. It's actually the beans you would put either in your blender to blend or take it to the market to blend it in using the industrial grinder. So when I looked at it, I was like, oh, I'm progressing. For me, since I was already retiring for that day, it was looking as if it was going to be a tough one for me. I almost abandoned it, but I still kept on pushing it because I know if I abandon it, it might be a tough one. My son was just by my side saying he wants to learn how to wash beans. I told him not to bother. It wasn't or he could just be picking it up one by one for me, and then I was learning how to remove the coated part of the beans from the beans itself. He was struggling with it, and I told him he shouldn't worry. And with time, he was going to learn it better. He just need to keep learning it bit until he understands the process. This guy was just there telling me he wants to wash beans, he wants to wash beans. I knew if I had allowed him, it would have taken me the whole day because after washing, you're going to clean the entire mess up. So I just told him, no, you can just wash the way I'm washing. You don't need to ask me to leave the plate for you to stand because I needed to just get out of that point. So we kept on. I was still showing him what to do, and was asking me some questions on how I could wash it so well that it was just few that had those coat chaps on top. And I told him it all depends on how you wash it. And you wash it in, but and with time the chaps removed, and then you have something as clear as that. He desired, he was actually the one that knew how to wash it. I told him he shouldn't worry, that with time he would be the one to handle it. So as you can see, the beans was almost done, as you know, I almost finished washing, though the chaps were so much because it pieces, and it was the part that was even inside the water was that part that that front part that is always a bit stiff is much thicker than the other part that coats the beans. So removing it from the water was quite tasking. I kept on filtering and filtering. It's actually the filtering that took a whole lot of my time. I was almost done washing. I kept on filtering, fetching water, filtering for several times. At a point, I was like, I'm not going to stop here, but I don't like my beans this way. I'll have to wash it to the end. So I kept on filtering and picking the beans, filtering, picking it up one by one, and then picking up the parts I was so much concerned about. So you can see that the entire process is changing from what it was brownish to what it is now. You can see the separation have occurred. So if you're a fan of beans, if you're a fan of porridge beans, some persons that prepares porridge beans for their children um, that easily have running stomach when they eat beans with the coated part, prefers to wash their beans very well by removing the chaffs and then cooking the beans like this for their kids to eat, so that their stomach will not react to the beans. So if you're a fan of that and then you find it tiring, I think you have a solution. Just give a try to it and see if there is any headway. Do not feel lazy about cooking your moi moi or curry anymore. Just keep trying, keep trying. You can do it. Even if you don't, even if you feel doing this is going to take so much of your time, just like I said earlier, you could just do it in bits. I remember a time I needed to eat moi moi. I craved for it so much, and I was like, will I need to be washing my beans every day? I don't think I'll be able to wash my beans every day. And maybe the only solution for me was to get beans from the market and then distone, and we just grind it. But I'm not a kind of person that likes eating beans that way. I was like, no, I'm not going to be able to do that by getting beans. And then I would just start blending. While eating it, my conscience will be telling me, did you wash that beans? Did you wash that beans? And I was like, oh no, I have messed up. So I decided to go to this market, buy my beans, washed it, and then what was actually good that period was that it was during the dry season. You know, tore my sacks, exposed the beans under the sun, and I dried it for 2 days to ensure it was really dried. I went to the market, grounded it to powder. I kept it in the house, which lasted me for like a month. And I appreciated it because anytime I needed to cook beans, I would just go carry my cup, scoop the quantity of beans flour I needed to use, and then mix it up and then put it on fire. You can see I'm almost done. Since I was still seeing those black spots, I had to start picking them one by one just to satisfy my conscience. So as I was saying, if you want to turn it to bean flour, you can use your dehydrator. You can use your oven, maybe low heat, to dry it, and then you blend it into powder. But this is actually rainy season. You can't just dry it outside, because if you try that, your beans will start growing if it doesn't get dry within 3 days. Remember, germination starts within those 3 days. So if you actually want to do take up such a method, you must be prepared for the unknown, because anything unknown could just come up. So I was squeezing out. It was filled. I squeezed out the chart so that I could have space to filter off other ones. And after that, I kept on rinsing and then filtering until I had what I wanted at the end of the day. So happy watching, and hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share my channel to others who are learning, who are in this learning process and are being discouraged. Let me tell you something. You can do whatever you want to do with your hands if you want to. Your hands are magic. And so you perform the magic with your fingers. So that is how I see cooking. And then ways of preparing it. You see me, even with the tiredness, I was just smiling at the beans, because that is me. Whenever I enter kitchen and I start doing kitchen chores, you will see that happiness in me. You see that smile in me. Even if I'm doing the right or wrong thing, but at the least I would have been able to fulfill righteousness by being there, my presence found there, and then what have you. So do not take it as if it is so much work. After all, if they're wearing processors, if they're wearing machineries that would help you to wash beans into necessary uniform, what would you have done? So it was necessary. It's necessary to know the various methods you could use in washing beans. And if you know those methods, you would appreciate it a lot. So always come back to watch more episodes of ways of preparing meal, and then learn from it and share with others. In case you have any difficulty in the process, you can always come back to share it to us. So enjoy your stay while you watch the videos. Please enjoy your moment. We're almost getting to the end of this. So happy stay to watch. Okay, at this point it was just selection galore. I was just selecting the beans to ensure I had a very clear beans. I was done washing the beans. Just a few of small quantity. I still has the shield on it. So I was ensuring I removed them. And the ones that were floating, those front parts, that refused leaving the blouse. I had to take it off. So after that, I washed it out. Like so, I washed it out several times. As you're washing, as you're selecting, the particles will still be on there. I washed it out and then still kept filtering it to see if those tiny drops would have corrected itself. Okay, so I was done and I had to transfer it into another container. After which I transferred everything out and placed it in a seal bag and kept it inside my refrigerator. You have to be checking your beans in your refrigerator at all times to ensure that it hasn't started going bad because of the current light situation in Nigeria. So this is what the end product looked like. It was so attractive. I was like, I wish I could use this space to prepare something other than moi, but I don't think I ever had the time to do this. So I was doing what I knew was best for it at this time. I had to do some washing and washing and washing. This was all about washing and picking out the discoloration I saw, washing and picking it up, washing and picking it up. But at the end of the day, thank you for watching. Thank you for staying with us. This is actually the end. So you can put it in a seal bag, refrigerate. If you don't have, you can put it in a container, refrigerate. But for me,